This segment is sponsored by G&R Contracting.
With the warmer weather, you might be thinking about an outdoor home project or the do-it list. Get it done, right? Chris Gutzmer, owner of G&R Contracting, joins us now to talk about how they can help. Good to see you, Chris. Welcome to Virginia this morning.
How's it going, Bill?
We are doing great, sir. A couple of basic questions because some folks may not be familiar with y'all. So how long you been around? Tell us a little bit of the history of the company.
We've been locally owned here for 23 years. Me and my business partner started this venture back in the late 90s and been going strong ever since.
Fantastic. 23 years. That's a pretty good run, and obviously got a lot of satisfied customers over that amount of time. So good to hear that. Let's talk about the ways you can create an outdoor living space. And they're not just limited to one or two ideas anymore. It's kind of limitless, isn't it?
Absolutely. One of the main things that we've been focusing on over the last several years is just creating that outdoor living space, bringing the outdoors closer to how you can enjoy your yard. One of the big things that we do are hardscaping, which is paver patios that creates that outdoor living space. It's an extension of your, inside of your house. Other parts are your yard, obviously. We do a lot of irrigation work, which helps you maintain that grass so you can enjoy your yard in that realm. Drainage and outdoor lighting. Those are some of the main things that we do with G&R Contracting.
It does make a big difference because I'm one of those people that I only come in the house when I have to come in the house. If I'm off, I'm out there somewhere doing something, and I'd much rather be outside than inside. This is Richmond and Central Virginia. It does get terribly hot during the summer, and
right.
You kind of take that into account, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, we whenever we're meeting with a customer trying to create that outdoor living space, those are factors that we're taking into consideration. Obviously, we're going into spring here and people want to be outside and enjoy the outdoors, but we know going into summer, sometimes the humidity and heat that's notorious for the Central Virginia area can kind of take its toll on you. So there are a lot of options that we can offer that can allow you to enjoy it, most of the warm season at least. And we, give you a lot of options for those as well.
All right, Chris, let's talk about timing because we've got a couple of dry days in the last month or two and some sunshine, but it really does kind of get you thinking about that. If we want to be ready for summer, I'm guessing we need to get in touch with G&R, don't we?
Absolutely. We're beginning of March here, and timing couldn't be better to start thinking about, if you haven't already done so, coming up with ideas or, calling us or calling a contractor somewhere and getting some ideas on how you can create that outdoor living space. Like to have it in place and ready to go. So kids are out of school, you're outside enjoying the yard and the weather. So timing couldn't be better than right now to kind of look at those ideas.
We all want to fix up our living space and expand it. I have kind of a small house, but most of my living space is outdoors. Does that, the return on investment, let's talk about that for a second and how much that means.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the big things, I'm a fellow consumer myself. So whenever I meet with a client and we're talking about doing projects, I'm always thinking in terms of down the road. If you're thinking of, staying here or moving, how much is this going to play back in regards to resale value? And landscaping, improving your landscaping, creating an outdoor living space can be one of the biggest return on investments that you can have. Not only creates more curb appeal, but it's a cheap way to add square footage. And if you do it right, it can be a great investment, not only to stay in the house that you want to live in, but, future if you're looking at resale value.
Chris, you and I were talking before we came on the air, and I was telling you the county wouldn't let me put a deck on the front of my house. And they said, but you can put, hardscaping in and some pavers in. And I did that 6 years ago and have done no maintenance hardly at all. I've added some things and stuff, but boy, it's like I was kind of glad after it was done that they wouldn't allow a deck, because I've been out there power washing it and sealing it and doing all the other things that you do with a deck. I do have a deck, but I really love this. It's a big difference, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. We run into customers all the time. Their houses are getting 15, 20 years old. They're thinking about replacing their deck. And, what they don't realize is, well, they do realize at that time, the maintenance that goes along with the deck, your typical lifespan of a deck is 15 to 20 years. With a paver patio, in most cases, it's cheaper to install, has a much longer longevity. You don't need permits, as you know. And the maintenance is, much lower than owning a deck. And
Great.
You get more privacy. It's, ground level. So, if you have a fence, sometimes you want to entertain and don't want everyone to see what you're doing. And it also kind of brings the backyard, closer in, because everything's ground level. Your backyard's kind of extension of the patio and vice versa. So.
Chris, like we said, sounds like you've been doing this for over 20 years and you pretty much got it down. Folks, to learn more about G&R Contracting, visit grcontracting.com. Here's the phone number, 804-360-2686, and find them on Facebook at G&R Contracting LLC. There's more Virginia This Morning coming up right after this.